Hello, folks, and welcome to the Counting Sheep podcast. This is episode 47, I believe, and I welcome you to my little corner of the YouTube universe here in Vermont. I am a fiber-related podcast. I talk about crochet, knitting, some spinning, life on the farm, and other shenanigans I get up to that involve wool and crafting with wool. So welcome, everyone. Thank you if you're a return listener, and welcome to new listeners. Hope you find something that you like here. So it has turned warm in Vermont. Yeah, we had some rain last week, quite a bit of rain. But it is now, well, it's overcast right now, but it is quite warm. It's in the 70s. And I have been spending quite a bit of time in my garden. And you'll probably find like between now and the end of June, I'll probably not have as many finished objects here on the podcast, just because a good chunk of my time is being spent out in the garden and try to get that up and running for the season. So I'm not a particularly good gardener. I just like to put things in the ground and see what comes up. So, but I've been doing some seeds inside since March. Tomatoes, peppers, mostly. And I've got some cabbage going on, some radishes, which are new for me this year. And also I'm putting some corn in this year, which I haven't done in years. So let's see what happens, right? Maybe in a future cast, or maybe at the beginning of this, I'll put just a little bit of footage in of what's already in the ground. So there is my update. I just back from New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival this past weekend with two of my friends, and I will kind of do that at the end of the podcast. That's kind of my shenanigans section. We had a great time. We went on the Sunday because I had an obligation on Saturday for one thing, but Sunday really truly it turned out to be the better weather day of the two, so I'm thankful for that. And we had a wonderful time. So I will put that in at the end. So I'm going to dive right in. We'll get into the crochet. Cooper just came in and he is settled down behind me. So Cooper, if you don't know, is my 13-year-old golden retriever. He just turned 13 at the end of April. Those of you who have older dogs, you know, it's one of those things where you're thankful for every day that you have with them. And so he's been chugging along, and I'm just grateful. So yay for Cooper. But you may hear him breathing or getting up and switching seats and stuff because of the old joints. So all right, so let's talk crochet. If you've been with me for the past couple podcasts, you know I've been working on a Linda Skuja, and I am happy to report that I am finished with that. Yeah, these sleeveless garments seem to go quite a bit quicker than the sleeved garments. So here it is. This yarn is from Hope Made Yarn Co. And it is her, let me just get this right. I like to make sure I'm not telling a lie here. It's 80% extra fine superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% recycled nylon. And it's in the colorway Possum. So it's very soft, next to skin soft. I've had this on both over something, like a cotton t-shirt, and also against my skin. And I tend to have very sensitive skin. It's always kind of been that way. I have to watch, you know, additives in laundry detergent, and also scents in dryer sheets and that sort of thing. Can't do that. So yeah, I'm so happy when a wool-based yarn comes around that is really good for the skin and feels good next to the skin. So Hope Made Yarn Co. is in New Jersey, which is the state I hail from. I am a transplanted Vermonter. And yeah, so you can see how beautiful that variegation is. It's a nice gray color. Here it is in the skein. And it has some pink hues to it. She just does such a fine job with her, don't mind the cat and dog hair, with her product. And I have 2 of these skeins left when all is said and done. So I'm thinking, even though it does have some cashmere in it, I'm thinking this would make a luxurious pair of socks for the one skein. And then the other skein, I want to make one of those, they're so popular right now. What is it? The Sophie scarf, but a crochet version of it. There is a designer, Faye Dashper Hughes, who has just come out with a scarf like that for crochet. And the name of it is escaping me right now, but if I find it, I'll put it up on the screen here. Yeah, and what's nice about her pattern is you can make it that skinny scarf, skinny long scarf that is like the Sophie scarf, but you can also make it bigger. So, and she shows you in the pattern how to do that. I have the patterns, so yeah, can't wait to do that. And that'll be so luxurious around, you know, as a neck accessory. So that's Hope Made. This is her Hope base. Yeah, check her out. She has a website, and she has other beautiful colors of yarn. So that's my Sivu tee. All done, finished object. That's the only finished object this time, unfortunately. I think I've been doing that lately, just one finished object per podcast. So in WIPs for crochet, I actually dove into my WIP pile and I pulled out something that I started probably last year around this time. I'm not sure I even showed it on the podcast. I might have. I'm not sure. But it is a pattern by Sandra Gutierrez, and she's otherwise known as Nomad Stitches. I really adore her patterns. I think she really takes crochet to another level. But this is the Bougainvillea top. And as you can see, it's crocheted. And this is all kind of shell stitch. But up here, when you get all done, you do a little bit of embroidery. And if you were with me last time, I showed some embroidery I recently did on a knitted cardigan. So I'm trying to stay with the theme here. And since I knew this was somewhere, I dug it out. I did not get very far on it when I had started it. But let me just show you what I have here. I am doing mine in a gray base. She has kind of a violet or lavender type color for hers. But this is just the start of it. Not quite sure which way this goes here. It has 4 corners, so... and obviously I'm increasing right now. But this is about where the embroidery will go. And the yarn I'm using is Shepjes Stonewashed. I'm sure I kind of butchered that name. A lot of people struggle with, it might be Skepjes. Yeah, I think the H is silent, so it's Skepjes. And that's stonewashed. It is the color 802 or Smoky Quartz is the other name for it. And this is, I believe, a Sport to DK. But let me just make sure on the pattern so I'm not telling you a lie. Since I'm just pulling this out now and saying, yeah, I need to get that done. Yes, it's done in a DK weight yarn. And for this particular little tank top, I need 770 yards. And then for the actual embroidery, I'm using the same yarn, but I've got this color, and this is called Corundum Ruby. 808 is the number. And then this other one is Deep Amethyst, color 811. Let's see, what else do I have here? I had a bunch of different colors. So this one is a yellow, or a lemon quartz, it's called 812. And then that's the yellow too. So I think it was just this three that I had. Oh no, nope, that's right. So just this 3 that I had, and I actually did them up in like a granny square just to make sure that they would all kind of jive. So there's the granny square. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. So stay tuned. I am gonna get cracking on that. I have this, I'm making this on with a 2.75 millimeter hook with this Sport to DK yarn. Yeah, I have not used Skeptias, and it's beautiful. The feel, you know, the drape and all is wonderful. So yeah, I'm gonna let you know how I get along with that. I had to share this bag with you. This I got from a maker, and she made this wonderful denim bag, 2, tones of denim. She did this hand stitching along here. She's got a wonderful lining here, but then look what she did on the front of this, which was the selling point for me. She found some motifs in an antique store and stitched them on to the front of it, which I think is just beautiful. Don't mind the dog hair here. But yeah, so it's kind of inspired me to use crochet motifs in a different way. Like you can put them on a jean jacket, or maybe even your own jeans to kind of patch a worn spot, or maybe stick them over a seam that's starting to go. So yeah, I love it. I mean, she used it here as a decorative feature, but you can use them any way you want, So I love this bag. So that's also going to motivate me to get this project going and done. All right, so that is the Bougainvillea top by Sandra Gutierrez of Nomad Stitches. Stay tuned for progress on that. And then my other WIP, I think I have it down here, I worked on while I was on a road trip to see relatives. And if you recall, I was telling you about a design for a hat that I did many years ago. This was like pre-COVID, like prior to 2020. And this was done in my own farm yarn, which I had dyed myself. And I'm calling this the Chakra Beret. And I have pretty much the pattern written up, but I didn't want to publish it until I had both versions done. And by both versions, I mean this was version 1 in another yarn, because obviously this is no longer available. So this is in JNS 2-ply yarn. The white is actually their Supreme, which is also a fingering weight yarn like the 2-ply. But I find their colors so much more vibrant than my dye job here. So this is the first iteration of the pattern, and then I thought it would be fun to do it in a darker version for those who don't like white or can't wear white. And it's been a slow go. I do want to be able to feature both pictures in my pattern. So that's what the holdup has been. But you know, it's all a process, right? Like everything. And I get distracted easily. So this darker one is also Jamieson & Smith Supreme Jumper Weight. And this is in the 2009 colorway. And the white is actually 2001 colorway. And then the other J&S colors, as you can see, I reversed them. I reversed the order of the colors on this one. I'm actually really liking it a lot. I think it's stunning. So the red is J&S, it's 93, number 93. The yellow is 23. The orange is 73. The green is 34. And the blue is 18, and the purple is 20. So those are the colors. They're obviously the rainbow colors. Makes it easy, right? From J&S. And just because I tension my yarn pretty vigorously when I'm crocheting, I find that I could only do a few, maybe an hour or so of crocheting with this type of rustic yarn, just because it wraps around my finger and it kind of, you know, causes a groove. So that's kind of part of the reason why it's taking me so long. However, it's a lovely yarn once you wash it up, but this one's washed. It fluffs right up, and it's just got a beautiful tone to it. So hopefully I'll be able to get this off my hook soon. I mean, I just have the band after this to make, and then I'll get my husband, the photographer, to get some pictures, and then it'll be up on Ravelry. And I know I've said that a couple times now, and but promise, it's coming. It's just been, you know, it's been a while since I've crocheted this, and I've been enjoying just watching the colors develop, it going the other way and with the darker yarn. So alrighty, so that is my Chakra Beret. All right, and so then we're going on to knitting. Let me just put Sivu tea over here. So I don't have any finished objects for knitting, but I do have a WIP to show you, and then a question to ask. So this is my WIP from the last time. I am making a pair of socks, and these are called the Diagonal Lace Socks. And it's from the Wendy Knits book. Let me see if I can pull that out real quick. Oh, no, it's not Wendy. Well, she's called Wendy Knits, but the actual title of the book is Socks from the Toe Up. And I like doing socks from the toe up. I can do Kitchener stitch. I don't even have to look. But I don't like that little loop you have at the end of Kitchenering. It kind of looks funny. I'm sure there's a solution to that. But I actually started these before the last time we met. And I did a Turkish toed cast on. So here they are. And I'm up to where I'm going to start the gusset. And you can kind of see the lace there. Let me show you a picture of the actual pattern of socks. That would be helpful. So this is the diagonal lace socks here. Yeah, and so I'm kind of at this point right here where I'm going to start the increases for the gusset. I'm a very slow sock knitter. I always do mine 2 at a time. just because I suffer from second sock syndrome. It's just a psychological thing of having to do something twice. So I rarely knit anything twice because of that. Let me get this untangled. There we go. These are living in a bag that I made myself. I believe it was when we were coming out of COVID. I learned how to stitch an entire bag by hand. I had some jelly roll quilting material, and I also did the embroidery as well, but I digress. That's my bag. This yarn is also Hope Made Yarn Co. This is in her JoJo's Favorite Sock set, and the content is 75% fine superwash merino, 25% recycled nylon, and this is the Rhinebeck FOMO colorway, which Hope had dyed up for her housemates at Rhinebeck. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, but it's so lovely. I'll show you the bottom of the foot, which has no patterning on it, so you can just kind of get an idea of what the yarn looks like. Excuse me. And this is the front, and you will be able to kind of see some of the lace there going on. Yeah. My goal here is, once I'm past the gusset and the heel turn and the heel, is to go right back to the orange color and do the ribbing in that. And I'm going to do these as a shorty. They will not be as tall as the picture here, simply because I really like a shorty. Yeah, so that's the diamond lace socks, and hopefully I will have the gusset done by next time. It takes me a while. Like I said, I'm kind of in the team slow knit when it comes to making socks. But you know, it's all good. It's slow fashion, and that's what makes it enjoyable, right? That we take our time and make it the way we want it to be. So there's a lot of pride in that. All right, so those are my socks. And then I'm on the search for another knitted project. Since it is turning warm, I'm kind of turning towards the sleeveless garments. And if you recall, a couple of episodes back, I'm not sure exactly when, I had swatched for the Brookdale vest. So this is a pattern by Elizabeth Smith Knits. One of my friends has made this vest. It's beautiful. It's got some texture on the front. It's hard to see it in the picture on the camera, but this kind of texture is taken all the way up the front. So it's an open front vest. And I went ahead and swatched for it. This is my swatch. I am doing this in Briggs & Little Heritage. The colorway is mauve. And I did my swatch on a number 7 needles. And I'm just kind of straightening this out because I poked it into the yarn ball and now it has a little hole here and there. But so this is my swatch, and I've shown it before. Number 7 needles for this worsted weight yarn. Briggs & Little, they are out of Canada. It's a 2-ply, 100% pure wool. And I love Canadian wool. So I have my swatch done. This is a worsted weight yarn, obviously. And I'm like good to go. I have at least one skein balled up. So you can see kind of the draw there. But then I also, if you recall, if you've been with me for a while, I took a little trip last summer to the Shetland Islands, and I picked up some local yarn there. And this is from Donna Smith. So interesting. We have Elizabeth Smith here and Donna Smith here. So anyway, this is the yarn that I picked up in Shetland at the farm, at her studio, Donna Smith's studio. So you can see a nice light gray there. And this is from her sheep, which I was able to view out her studio window. This is a DK weight yarn, and the shade is called Light Stain, spelled S-T-A-N-E. And it's from her 2021 clip. So this is a few years ago. And then she ran upstairs, God bless her, because I told her I was interested in doing the pattern out of this edition of Shetland Wool Adventures. This is number 2. And this is called the Atlantic Wave Slipover. So here's the picture of the Atlantic Wave Slipover. So you can see there's this color interest down here, but there's a nice lace detail at the end. This is not her pattern. This is designed by Eunson. And I asked her if she had the kit, and she, God bless her, ran upstairs and brought me down some of her hand-dyed. And I just love this. I mean, she gave me a choice of either this or the original color, which is kind of like that maroon color. And I went with the blue because I figure it would look good with anything, really, jeans, or if you wanted to dress it up. So this is her Langsund. That's the product name for the yarn. And so it's a DK weight. So this is DK versus the worsted weight. It is getting warmer here in Vermont, and I tend to move towards the lighter weight yarns when I can during the summer. Yeah, this is her car. This is her farm. Isn't that lovely? She threw that card in with all my purchases. So, and you literally look out on water at her farm. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, that's the Atlantic Wave Slipover with the lace and the color interest. So I'm kind of torn, as you can see. On the one hand, I have a vest that's ready to cast on. This can be ready to cast on in 10 minutes. All I have to do is, well, not really. I have to wind the yarn and I have to swatch. But this is also DK, which is lighter than the worsted weight. So what do you think I should do? Should I just cast on the worsted weight vest, the Brookdale vest by Elizabeth Smith? Or should I do the work and swatch and then cast on the Donna Smith? I will eventually get to both, essentially. But I'm in a quandary right now as to which one I should start. So yeah, I'm leaving it up to you to vote for me. Let me know what you think. Just an aside, some Shetland buttons I got on the same trip. I love that trip. I keep thinking about it all the time. So it's a great place to go if you can manage it, and if you like ferry rides. I have to say the ferry ride was fine. It's an overnight ferry ride to the Shetland Islands from the mainland Scotland. We, of course, were there in July, so the weather's always better in the North Sea in July. It probably is not so much in the fall and winter. So, alrighty, so that is it for knitting. I'm going to go into Shenanigans now, which is my visit to the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival with my friends Kendra and Tammy. And I was basically there for one major reason, and that was to drop off my fleeces with Catawampus Farm. Catawampus Farm is a fiber mill as well as a sheep farm in Maine, Minot, Maine. And Janet, who is the proprietor, had a booth at New Hampshire, and I was there to drop off my 4 fleeces so she could wash them up for me and card them into some nice roving. And lucky for me, she'll probably have it done by the end of June, which is great because it will coincide with a long weekend trip that my husband and I will be taking to Maine. But anyway, I wanted to just show off some of the other things I acquired, or actually some of the things I acquired at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool after I got done bringing the fleeces in. And thank you, Kendra, for hoofing it with me with the fleeces. They're not all that heavy, but when they're in the grease, meaning they still retain their lanolin, they're not as fluffy. They're kind of solid. You know, they're a solid block of wool. So in the same building as Catawampus Farm, probably just kind of right next door, there was a lovely lady selling handmade bags, hand-sewn bags, and I couldn't resist the chicken one. So this is her bag. And I'm trying to recall, I didn't pick up her business card, so I will try to find out exactly the name. If I find the name, I'll put it on the screen. But I loved looking at her bags. She had a great lining, and then the pockets in the one pocket that's in, I think it's one. Actually, she has a divided pocket, I think, in here. Yeah. But this fabric that she used to make the pockets is also chicken related. So very cute. This bag obviously is meant to be, you know, for portable knitting, to put around your sleeve, or, you know, put it around your wrists, and you can kind of knit and go. So she had all sorts of fabrics, fun fabrics for different likes and whatnot. So like my chicken bag. Let me see. This yarn was next. And this is from a vendor called, I had enough forethought to pick up a business card. This is from Forever in Fiber. Hand spun yarn and hand wovens. Yeah, and this yarn is a combination of Shetland and blue-faced luster, and it's an Aran weight yarn. And the reason why I picked this up is I don't have a lot of the Aran weight yarn in my stash, and I'm going to be going to a class, not this week, but next week at Harrisville Designs, and the instructor has required us to have contrast colors, real contrast colors of Aran weight yarn. So this one's called Muckle Row, and this one's Ronis Hill. Yeah, and it's actually, this yarn is out of the UK, which also interested me as well. Yeah, and so this is the business that carries this yarn. And so that will be for my class. The class is on brioche knitting, and it's being taught by Patty Lyons. So yeah, really thrilled that I get a chance to be taught by Patty Lyons, because she's a bigwig in the industry. I picked up a pattern from one of my favorite designers, Donna Kay. You may have heard me talk about her on the channel. She is a local designer, local to New Hampshire. She spins, she knits. She is almost done with her master's spinning certificate. and this is one of her designs. And this is done in worsted weight yarn, although I think you can probably scale it down. Just a little bit of math involved, and you can scale it down to a lighter weight yarn. But I really liked the color work in this yoke. So yeah, she designed this specifically for Great Bay Woolworks, and they had the booth, Great Bay Woolworks, at the festival. I picked up a skein of this black yarn, Sassy Black Yarns, because if you recall, I picked up some yarn from Sassy Black Yarns when I was at Spa back in February, and it was a whole bunch of mini skeins, which I'm planning to do a cowl with, but there's not enough black to do the cowl, so I picked up another skein from her to make sure that I had enough for that cowl. And then finally, this yarn is from a new to me vendor, and she's right up the road. Well, not right up the road, but she's north of here from where I live in Vermont, and she calls herself Werewool. And I believe this is yarn from her own Cormo sheep. I got 2 colors of it. It's very soft. And so it's fingering weight yarn, 2-ply, and it's Cormo as well as local alpaca fleece blended together. So it's super soft. I'm thinking about crocheting up a cowl in these 2 colors, so stay tuned. I'm looking through my stitch dictionaries right now for crochet, and I'll let you know how I get on with that. But she was quite a character, and I enjoyed talking to her about. She's very passionate about her sheep and just keeping things in Vermont and keeping things local. So really enjoyed her a lot. I am going to put some footage in at the end of the Sheep and Wool Festival. I managed to get quite a bit, so that'll be good. And that'll kind of round things out and give you a taste of what the festival was like on Sunday, on Mother's Day. But we had a good time. There was a really good food vendor there. I got some mac and cheese, which was out of this world, but they also had soups there, and it was just wonderful. Good food for a fair, because sometimes you never know with fair food what you're going to get. So that was really good. And my class with Patty Lyons will be not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. And so I will be podcasting after that, and I'll let you in on the skinny with that. I'm taking that class with my friend Tammy, so that'll be great as well. So, and that's all I have for today, and I'm hoping that you're all keeping your crocheting and knitting close. You're getting out and enjoying the warming weather if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.